everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and another episode of the Whatever Report, where we hang out on Saturday evenings and I ramble and you guys hang out with me, and I appreciate it. So let's see. We had some people hanging out in the chat before we got going live here. We had my man GT Key in here early as always. John coming in around, hanging out with us as well, doing a little bit of tailgating. I am versus the Comic Community Awards tonight. Well, this is my time slot. They're versus me. I think they'll be fine without my 10 or 11 people that show up that I always appreciate, but it's usually a pretty small crowd for this. So I don't know for any awards this year, so screw them. No. No, they're a good thing, and I know several people that are up for awards, including, I believe, this man right there. So I hope he wins, and, all my friends win. But, yeah, I'm not changing. So there you go. My man Magic Lasso, what is going on? Liking that thumbnail. We'll get to that thumbnail here in a little bit. Gordon, what is going on, sir? You got an army at War 83. I have no idea what's going on with that, but sure. Yeah. Oh, you got an army at War 83. So maybe it's like a golden age. John has a few. Oh, First Sergeant Rock. There you go. I look more normal this week. Yes, I do indeed look. No Halloween costume this week. I did that last week. Already starting to grow back. So from shaving. So we'll see. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to shave again and keep going, rocking the mustache, or if we're going back to the goatee. I'm pretty sure we're going back to the goatee. You forgot that you were up for an award? Or no, you forgot the Sergeant Rock thing. Okay. What kind do I have in my home now? I do have a little bit of leftover candy. I only had 4 groups of trick-or-treaters, which has been about steady for me. So I think I had, was it 4? Yeah. A group of 3, 2 groups of 3, and 2 groups of 2. Or no, 3 groups of 3 and a group of 2. And a single. So I had 5 groups. Because the single was little bitty. She was a little bitty thing. So I had, I gave away. I did not give away full size. I know. I'm not that cool. Just a little fun size Snickers, Reese's, peanut butter cups, and Kit Kats. So I stick to the classics. Hey, Deep House, what is going on here? So I have a few of them left. Most of them, I bought the smaller bags. So didn't figure out to have that much. And I have a little bit left over, but not a crazy amount of leftover candy this time, thankfully. Last year, I bought like big bags, and I had tons left. It's hard to beat a Reese's peanut butter cup or Snickers, although I probably personally like Milky Way slightly more than Snickers. My personal favorite, which I never give away because I just eat them if I buy them, is a Take 5. If you've never had a Take 5, best candy, period. That's my take. What is going on, Kenneth Bird? What is happening? See, my Walmart candy is usually gone. Like if you wait till Halloween to buy candy, it's gone. It's off the shelves. Like they take all the Halloween candy is gone usually, like I would guess it was probably gone like Tuesday or Wednesday. Like every year, there was no 50% off, no 25% off. There was no candy. It was already switched to the Christmas candy and stuff. Yeah. Nothing wrong with either of those. Those are both fine choices for sure. Supposed to be bringing that book up to Perry. There you go. So what are we doing? I haven't done any of my banners yet. What are we drinking tonight? Just a little water tonight. No bourbon, no whiskey. The stomach issues are acting up on me a little bit today, so we're behaving ourselves tonight. So that's so nothing exciting going on there. What is coming up on the channel? I don't know. I've been kind of slacking lately. There should be, obviously I put out the look back video today. There should be a cash or trash on Monday, maybe. I haven't actually talked about it with Marcus, whether he wants to do it or not, given that the Chiefs are playing. I usually will do it with the Chiefs playing and just have them on the iPad over here where I can watch them. But yeah, I'll have to check with him, and maybe I'll just do it by myself and do it like quick or something like that. So we'll see. Oh, I will say, wait, am I on the, which one am I? Oh, okay, I am. So I'm still in my trial period trying the different internet service. It just changed like the color of the tone of the video. So let me know if I start like freezing up or anything, as we're still testing this out. I figured out today, so I got the T-Mobile internet as opposed to the cable. That's what I'm using at the moment. It says it has really good speed most of the time when I test it, but I have had some problems down here. Though I did find out the one thing is I get Hulu plus live TV, which doesn't work very well with the T-Mobile internet because Hulu demands that you have a stationary IP address, and T-Mobile is just bouncing off the towers, so you don't really have a stationary IP address. So yeah, I may have to change to like YouTube plus live TV if I end up doing this, which is about the same price. So I don't think it's really going to cost me much, but it's just kind of like trying to figure out all the math. And I maybe need to get I may have to upgrade the T-Mobile if it's not going to work down here very well, to get like a mesh system so that there's a point down here. Because it doesn't want to talk to my Google Nest, which is my Wi-Fi mesh system I have now. They don't work well together either, so I don't know. We'll see. I was trying to save some money. I don't know that it's going to work out. At the moment, this month, I'm probably spending more money because I'm going to have them both for a little while, but we'll see. So the joys of, yeah. Well, I can run off the hotspot if I had to, but like the hotspot has limited data and that kind of stuff, and I would prefer not to run off a hotspot. I have the T-Mobile internet they have internet service, and it has its own router and Wi-Fi in one thing. It's not truly a hotspot. It's better than a hotspot. So, hey, Vinny, what's going on? I mean, it gets like. Hold on, let's see what the speed test is tonight. It doesn't seem like it slows down some at night. I mean, it could just be that people are using it. That is, I don't care about that at the moment. Let's see because this morning it was like 200 and something. It was like now my cable is up to like 400, but it was like 200 up, and oh wait, it's trying to finish it down, and like 12 down or like no more than that anyway. That seems really high. Let's go back here. Whoa. Run a speed test. Here we go. Let's see what we're getting at the moment. Or sorry, down was like 200 and up was like 8. See, and right now down is like, so in the evenings it seems to bog down. And it could be also that I'm doing, but it's only 45 down on my phone right now. 6 up, 9 up, 10 up. Actually, that's pretty good up. Interesting, 11 up, but only 45 down. But I'm downstairs, so I don't know what's going on. We'll see. Hey, Phil, what is going on? You guys tell me if I start freezing. So, which I may not even be able to see because if it freezes up, I may not keep getting comments. So, I don't know. We'll see. All right. What's next? Oh, whatever's coming up on channel. So there should be look back went out today. Obviously, I'm doing this. Should be a cash or trash on Monday. Beyond that, I have no idea. What I'm going to do. I need to schedule some stuff. I need to get back to reading some stuff. I'm super close to finishing the Catwoman omnibus, but I don't know when John and I are actually going to talk about that. And I did a bunch of other reading and stuff we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, I don't really have anything planned or scheduled at the moment. I'll be honest. I've been kind of boring for you guys lately. Been a little content light, but we do what we can do. So, all right. What did we pick up this week? Only thing we picked up this week is we had some books come in on our every 2-week order from Midtown. And so this is the stack. We got what? 2, 4, 6 books that came in for the last 2 weeks. So that was this past Wednesday's books and the Wednesday before. Some of them I have read already. Most of the 2 of them I've read already, but we will talk about those when I get to my reading. First up, we have Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures. I don't remember which one this is. This is just the main series, I guess. Yeah. I'm super behind on all my High Republic stuff. That stack is ugly. It's very, very ugly. My other reading stack that's not the Star Wars stuff is a little better, and we'll go through a bunch of those later. But I'm supposed to be on Batman and not the technology issues. Dude, I am not. No, that is not me. I used to be pretty decent at technology, and now I'm old. So I'm not any good at technology anymore. The new Nightwing run, no Tom Taylor, which makes me sad. Nightwing 119. I have not dived into Dan Waters' Nightwing. Dan Waters and Dexter Soy. I have not dived into this book yet. I'm a little afraid to. I don't know anything about Dan Waters as a writer, and or Dexter Soy as an artist. I don't think. So I'm a little nervous about this coming off the Tom Taylor run, which I loved so much. But we will dive in sometime in the next week, and I will let you guys know next weekend what I think of it. So we'll see. Fingers crossed that we still got good Nightwing. As was Hush. There you go. I've never watched the animated Hush. I've heard mixed reviews on it. Speaking of Tom Taylor, new Tom Taylor Detective Comics. This book is in the bag upside down. Sometimes they come like that from Midtown. Haven't dug into this yet. I'm hopeful. Looking forward to it. I'm a big Tom Taylor fan. I love this Nightwing run. I'm a big fan of his all-new Wolverine run. I'm a big fan of his Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man run. I wish they just gave him ASM back then. It would have been so much better. So hope, fingers crossed, but we'll see. The Bat's a little different than Nightwing or Spidey, so we'll see if he does what he does there. I did pick up the facsimile it's right for that book right there. It's slightly higher grade than that copy. But I have actually read this before, but I did go ahead and pick up the facsimile. So add that to my facsimile stack of big keys that most of the facsimiles I get, not all, but most I actually own the book, but not always. Zatanna, Bring Down the House, number 5. We will dig into this more deeply here in a minute because 4 I've read this. I also read 4. So we're going to talk about both of those when I get into what I've been reading. And then all new or Absolute Wonder Woman. I ended up getting the Jim Lee cover. It's not the cover I actually thought I ordered, but I look back and it is the one I ordered. I kind of wish I'd gotten just that regular A also. But we will talk about this when we get into the reading, what we've been reading. And that's where we're going next. We're going to go there, but we got a big old stack. So I had to catch up on a bunch of reading. I went back and read, that's been a couple of years now, but Kavi and I went back and read Hush, the original Hush, for Gotham City Chronicles several years ago now. Probably 4 years ago now, maybe longer. And it was still good, but it was not nearly as good as I remembered it. The art was fantastic. The story was not, don't get me wrong, it's a really good Batman story, but it's not the super elite top tier story I remembered. It's more just good. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope they can pull it off. We'll see. I got another in my 2-read stack. I got the first 2 issues of Loeb's. Well, I have the 0 and the number 1 of Loeb's new Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. So we'll see if Loeb still got it. But I only ordered the first two. I ordered the 0 and then the number 1, and then I've decided I'm just going to wait and get it via trade for that one. But I thought I would give myself a little preview by reading those. So, reading stack. Oh, minus the Zatanna 5 and the Absolute Wonder Woman. We'll put those on the bottom. So, what we got here? Justice League Unlimited 1 is the prelude to Hush 2. Okay. I'll have to remember that. Ghost Spider number 6. So, haven't really enjoyed this book very much. It's been fine. But I dropped it. This was the last issue I ordered. And actually, the first sort of mini arc ended with issue 5 with the Chameleon. And now we're fully into the Black Tarantula stuff that's kicking off here. This was probably the best issue of the run, but I'm still not regretting that I was like, no, I'm done. Burn it on my show. It's not that bad. I'm just not going to buy it anymore. It's not terrible. Trust me, I have some books that I have read that are terrible. This book is not terrible. It's just not great. It's not good enough that it makes me, even though I like Gwen, that it makes me want to keep getting that run. So, it's true, and I could just wait and buy the trade when it's all over and not read those two. But I'll probably read them just to give myself a preview of what it's going to be. And if they're really good, maybe I'll decide to go back and get 2 and 3 and start getting them. I don't know. We'll see. Next, we got Chip Zdarsky's Batman All In number 1, and I don't remember what happened to this book. I read it like last weekend after like the show, so I didn't talk about it during the show. And I now it tells you how big of an impression it made. What was this about? Now it's gonna drive me nuts. I don't remember. Like, I really did read it. And I remember thinking it was pretty good. Like, it was a decent Zdarsky issue. Oh, it was the Riddler stuff. Yeah. Where Edward is now like a businessman and he's trying to like take over Wayne Tech to be to legitimize himself, and the mayor gets shot at the end, and then the twist at the end is the Riddler is actually working for like the Court of Owls, and we're gonna get the Court of Owls, and we're getting Lincoln Marsh or whatever back. It was like the Talon from the Snyder run. So we're going back to that well, which I don't know that we've went back to that well since the Snyder thing. So yeah, they're setting all that up. I totally blanked. It was pretty good. It was actually one of the best. Like, I've been hit or miss on the Zdarsky run, but this was actually a pretty good book, even though I like totally blanked on what it was about. Yeah, I'm not gonna destroy, but I mean, I won't say I've never like. There aren't some like trash books that haven't been like. There were like freebies or stuff, or just stupid things that I didn't necessarily take care of. But I generally don't like trash a book. That's silly. Yeah. Well, he does have a really good line in here where he talks about that he had, because Batman confronts him and he talks about the fact that like he'd wasted so much time trying to prove he was a genius, like the biggest genius, by beating Batman instead of just being a genius, like just taking advantage of his, like trying to prove he was the smartest guy in the room instead of just being a smart guy and using that to make money and help, and do good things. It's a really good sequence. It's a good conversation, even though as you find out later, he's still the Riddler. He's still like doing crappy stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah. So I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. We'll see where it goes. Catwoman number 69, new era. The Teenie Howard era of Catwoman is over. Praise the gods. And I did get the Frank show I mean, it's not like his little ink sketch cover. I mean, Frank Cho knows how to draw a woman. Where she's basically like, it basically picks up nowhere near what was going on. This is another one I can't remember. I read all these last week and now I'm like blanking on where this is going. It's driving me nuts. And I apologize. Did he read them? I gotta remember here. Oh yeah, like Selena Kyle was like is wanted for murder and this fundraiser shooting, and she's like, she's got a new costume, and she ends up going to Europe to find out, going to Berlin, and having been reading an excellent Catwoman run by Brubaker from Catwoman Volume 3, this gave me a little bit of Brubaker vibes. Grombeck is like, I wasn't a huge fan when she took over like the Jane Foster Valkyrie stuff from Jason Aaron. I thought it dropped off considerably, but compared to Teenie Howard, this book is freaking fantastic. It's like a 10 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it is an intriguing, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Titans. What was going on with the Titans? So yeah, we got a new Titans book. So the whole thing where they were the preeminent team only lasted like a year, which we all knew. And then the most recent event, the Absolute Power event, now the Justice League is back, and they're all technically members of the Justice League, but they're getting to be Titans. This is first book, John Layman, first book post Tom Taylor. Wally is no longer going to be active on the team. We get Arsenal. Red Arrow is back. I think he's going by Arsenal at this point. Roy's on the team. And we get that Donna's going to be taking over the team from the leadership role from Dick. I will say I wasn't a huge fan of the art. This Pete Woods art. It was okay. Some of it was fine. Some of it was I thought it was a little bit inconsistent within the book. I was debating on whether or not I was going to keep reading Titans or if I was going to drop it with Tom Taylor dropping off. But we're going to give it at least a shot here. We're going to give it a shot because it was pretty good. Let's see. It's time for Sit Before Your Throat Goes Dry. Apparently apparently I don't sound very good. So we'll fix that. I don't know. Is that better? I think I sound the same, but I mean, I don't drink enough water sometimes. That is for sure. You guys are getting a lot of reading this week because I got a big old stack that I got through. Birds of Prey. We're kicking off the third storyline of Birds of Prey. This was a fun one where we had a couple of gosh dang, I can't think of those two characters' names, but two new, what are going to be potentially new members. Kelly Thompson said it was going to be a rotating crew all the time. Or taking on Barda, and it's that whole sequence. Barda has been easily, I don't know if my man John is still in here or if he bailed to watch the Comic Book Community Awards or if he just bailed for family stuff or what. But I know he is with me in the fact that Big Barda, I didn't know, I've never like read a ton of like the new God stuff. Most Big Barda I've ever really read. A few times she's been in Justice League stuff, and then that Mr. Miracle run by Tom King. I did not know how much I needed Big Barda in this book. And, of course, Big Barda and Cash Kane, Batgirl, are a phenomenal combo. But Big Barda on her own has so many fantastic sequences. There's another one in this book. I enjoyed the heck out of this issue and looking forward to it keeping going. So Kelly Thompson still doing a great job on Birds of Prey. I know the first arc was really, really great. The second arc was it was better than okay, but it wasn't great. I enjoyed the heck out of it, but it had moments. This issue was fantastic. So keep going here. As I'm 25 minutes in and I'm still going through stuff I'm reading, and I got several books left. Poison Ivy. So we're finally kind of moving into the follow-up here. This is 26. Of course, I got the Frizzen because look at it. Look at it. Of course I'm buying the Frizzen. What are you talking about? We're finally getting into the post fully, because 25 was like an anthology kind of issue, fully into the aftermath of what happened with Floronic Man and the lamina spores that had kicked off at the very beginning of the book. We're finally moving past that. And now we got this basically new eco-terrorist group that is apparently like worshipping Ivy. But she's also getting blamed for their activities, even though she doesn't know anything about them. And yeah, this was a good start to a new storyline. I'm looking forward to. I still like Janet from HR is still here, and which is she's brought a fun, like just lay person to this whole Ivy world. We get Croc again. We get more Killer Croc in this one, which I'm enjoying the heck out of. I didn't know I needed Killer Croc as not really her sidekick, but just a side character in Ivy's life. Other than that Catwoman Lonely City thing, kind of set that up. And Croc has been a great part of this book. We get a little bit of Harley. We get Janet from HR, and then we get this new story arc. Yeah, I continue to G. Willow Wilson's Poison Ivy continues to be fantastic. All right, where are we at now? The book I just read, like literally right before we went live, Batman and Robin Year One. So obviously, Year One means a lot generally in the Bat universe. Batman Year One, Robin Year One, Batgirl Year One. There's a Nightwing Year One. There's a Robin and Batgirl Year One, I think, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, this is Batman and Robin Year One. And I wondered how it would necessarily be different because it is right at the beginning of Dick Grayson being the sidekick. Hey, aggressively, what's going on? Just going through the books. I finally caught up on a bunch of my reading. I've still got a huge stack to catch up on, so I'm just kind of going through my quick reviews. And it set up like it was going to be very similar to like Robin Year One, with Two-Face being a role and, being kind of the main villain. Doesn't seem that's going to be the case. Seems we're getting something a little different. Two-Face was here, but it's not necessarily going to be a Two-Face story. So, the Chris Samney art, I'm a big fan of. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Mark Waid has been killing it on Brave and the Bold. Right? Is it Brave and the Bold? No, Batman, Superman, World's Finest. World's Finest is what he's been killing it on. So yeah, this was a good start. We'll see where this one goes. All right, what we got left? We'll save the two absolute books for the end, and then we got issues 4 and 5 of the Zatanna story. The end of Mariko Tamaki and Javier Rodriguez, Zatanna bring down the house. So it's kind of a new, lack of a better term, origin story for Zatanna here. I don't know if this is technically canon or if this is just kind of an Elseworlds thing. I don't know that it ever really made. It is a black label, so it's probably kind of an Elseworlds tale. So I don't think it's canon. This thing's a lot of fun. It's a different take on her origin in terms of her and her father. And, when she originally appeared in comics, it was like she was looking for Zatara. And so Zatara takes on a little different role. He actually is like the villain kind of this book in some ways. And I don't want to spoil too much here. I just thought it was a fun ride. Like anything, a good story with Zatanna, I'm down for anytime. And then, it starts with her not like being a stage magician, but just a stage magician, not actually not using magic and claiming she doesn't have any. And a lot of it's like a mental block. And through the course of this, like she discovers her full magical abilities. We get some Constantine in a very small role and get a fun little cameo at the end. Yeah, it's just a fun book. Done really well. And I was very pleased with that particular Zatanna story. So, enjoyed the heck out of it. All right. the two new things. We're going to start with Absolute Batman. And so I did finally read Absolute Batman. I'd had this, been in the pile for this. I read this like midweek. I will say I'm a huge fan of the Nick Dragotta art, mostly because of my love for East of West. So yeah, the Alfred in here is a lot of fun. The Bruce in here is a very interesting, different take. I love that he's not like rich Bruce Wayne. I'll be very curious to see, is Constantine funny in the issue? He's Constantine. I wouldn't necessarily say he's funny. I mean, he's got some jokes, but nothing like over the top. But I mean, I think it's very true to who, at least when the stuff I've read on Constantine, it seems very consistent with Constantine that I know. But I've never read a lot of the Hellblazer stuff and that kind of stuff. I've mostly read Constantine when he's interacting with other characters, when he's in other people's books, Justice League Dark, or when he's in other Justice League books or the Satana book. So yeah, no, I won't go into spoilers here, Deep House. I'm gonna do just some like general thoughts. I think it's a very interesting take on the characters. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I do like the alternate kind of origin for Bruce and the twist to his origin here that I won't go into because Deep House doesn't want spoilers. Well, there's multiple twists to his origin. It is a different origin. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's fun. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm not the biggest Scott Snyder fan. I know it's supposed to only be 5-issue mini. I think I'm on board for the whole thing. We'll see. Alfred was easily the best part of this book for me. I will not lie. But it's really, this particular issue is really told from Alfred's perspective. And this is a very different Alfred than also. So I thought this was good. I did not think it was as good as this one. No, I'm not up for any awards. This is my normal night. This is my normal time. I'm just doing my stuff. And I wish everyone luck that was nominated for the award, especially the people I know and interact with. Hope they win. But yeah, I'm just doing my thing. So there's already a third printing out. I know the second printing is on the hot list this week. So yeah. Yeah, I need to look for that, like a collected edition of that Hellblazer stuff. We'll see if I can find like a Omni or something. Well, I appreciate that, Carlino, despite the fact that you tried to throw me under the bus this morning by claiming I wasn't going to hang around. Unlike John, who popped in for like and said, what did he say? JP versus the Comic Community Awards live stream. I choose JP, and then I haven't seen him since the 8:03 mark. So yeah, so where's John? So he did that tonight. But I'm still here. You're here, Carlino, and I appreciate it. So, all right, Absolute Wonder Woman. So I did get the Jim Lee cover. I kind of wish I'd also gotten, just because I enjoyed it, I wish I'd gotten the A cover as well. Maybe I'll get that later. This was I thought this was an interesting. I thought the Absolute Batman was an interesting, different take on Batman's origin, and I enjoyed it. I loved this origin. The whole thing with the way the Amazon thing is handled, the way the gods are handled, her and Cersei's relationship, which they've always been antagonists, and they are not in this book. I love that whole sequence when we get Diana growing up and like the across 2-page panels of their home and intermixed with this fight that's going on where she kind of reveals herself to the world. And she's badass. Like, I kind of wish, I will say, the one thing I will have here is a little bit of pacing issues with, I feel like Well, I'll just say, like the first fight where she's revealing herself to the world is not actually wrapped up in this issue, and I kind of wish it had been. Or if it is, it's not like it seems like there could be more to it, where it ends, and I kind of wish we'd gotten the complete like. And I think you could have done it in another like page, but just from a tonal thing, I feel like that would have been a better way to end this first issue, but that's the point. So anyway, I enjoyed the heck out of this issue. Obviously, my thumbnail was related to Absolute Wonder Woman. I mean, it's not Tom King's Wonder Woman, but this was good, and I am looking forward to this. If the other 4 issues live up to this will be a hardcover for me for sure. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it that much. I'm looking forward to it. I'm all in. I did not. So I pre-ordered both of those. I did not pre-order Absolute Superman. I'm not a huge Superman guy. I don't dislike Superman, but I've never really read a lot of Superman, so I didn't do the Absolute Superman. So I know that comes out like next week. So I'm gonna miss out on that one. But yeah. Oh goodness. Sorry for the yawn. But so there's my reading pile. But I got through quite a bit. The other thing I read, obviously, is I've been trying to finally finish up that Brubaker Catwoman omnibus. Super close. I got 4 issues left. I don't know when John and I are going to talk about that, but getting very close on that one. This is where they can get more money. Well, they get a lot of it. I keep saying I'm going to cut back, and I am. I keep promising myself I'm going to cut back on my new books, but I haven't really yet. When did I end up ordering like this last month? I forget. Where is that? That's a good question. Where's the book? Where's my tab that I got all that order all that stuff on? My order for November was not less. It was not. Let's see. My September order for November. What was my October order? Nope, I was still right at my 15. Dang it. I'm going to try next year, starting with the January order. I'd like to keep it to 10 new books a month. I'm going to try. Did I pick up a back issue? I did not. I haven't been anywhere to pick up any back issues lately. So, yeah, no. Everything is... Only thing came in this particular week. The last thing I picked up that was not like my Midtown stuff is this Planet. So, you're 40 minutes late. You've missed my new comics that came in from Midtown and me going through my reading stack. But that's it. And me rambling, which is, what I do. So, what are we watching? So I was going, I have a list of series that I was that I want to watch next. And there's several things. I'm behind on some of the Marvel shows. I'm behind on, what was it that I finished? That I caught up and finished? The Legend of Vox Machina. I finished season 3 of that. So I was trying to decide what I was going to watch next. And what I was going to start, and was I going to start Agatha, or was I going to start, I still haven't watched, the season 2 of Loki, so, that tells you how far behind I'm on, that kind of stuff. Was I going to watch The Acolyte, which I know some people hated, but I just want to see it for myself. Was I going to watch Rings of Power? Was I going to watch Shogun, finally? It's been on the top of my list for a while. Was I going to watch... I'm forgetting a couple other shows that were in my potential stack, and I ended up starting none of them this week. And instead, I spent the last couple days. You guys know I've been watching Critical Role stuff because I've been watching I watched the animated series on Amazon, but I've been watching their Campaign 3, which I haven't caught up on that either. But they do, which I didn't know about. It came out. Penguin, that was the other. Yes, thank you. But I'm kind of, at this point, I'm kind of just waiting on Penguin until it's done. But Penguin was the other one. Yes, it's probably was Shogun or Penguin is probably what I was going to start. But Although I heard really good things about Agatha, so and it's kind of spooky season, so I felt like maybe I should watch that too. I know that we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I like the original show until the last season, and even that had moments that I enjoyed. And then I've enjoyed the heck out of House of Dragon, so I'll probably watch it, but it depends on what it's about. Where was I going? So they put out this thing like random crap you click on YouTube, but the Critical Role people do have these videos that are called Narrative Telephone, and I kind of want to do this now with like people in the comic community, and it's just the game of telephone. It's just Shogun picking one Agatha, and Shogun has been like the thing that I keep saying I need to start, and I just haven't ever done it. So I think you're right, Burkler. I think that's got to be the order. Plus, then I can just watch Penguin and binge it when it's completely done. So I think it's got to be Shogun. And maybe I'll start that tomorrow because Chiefs don't play tomorrow. So maybe I'll try to like kick off Shogun tomorrow. So anyway, they do Narrative Telephone. And so it's just the game. And they started, I guess, during the pandemic just for content. And basically it's one of them gets up and tells a 2-minute story. And then they send it to the next person on the line. And you can watch it one time. You can watch it one time, and then you have to record yourself telling the story, and then you pass it on. And it goes through like 7 or 8 of them. And it is fucking hysterical how bad they do at remembering these stories, having watched them one side. It's like a 2-minute. It was supposed to be under a minute, but they blow up to like 2 minutes. And like in the middle, the people in the middle are going like 4 or 5 minutes because they're like, and I forget. And I kind of want to do it with like some folks in the comic community, like, because I think it would be freaking hysterical. As you make up a story, you tell it, and then like they try to repeat it back to you, and it is like, I mean, we all played telephone when we were kids and stuff, and we all know like how that works for you. Like one person tells a thing and it changes as you go along. Oh my gosh, it makes me laugh so hard. So I've been like, they're all like hour-long episodes, and I watch them a little fast, but not too much because I want to be able to hear everything they're saying and how they're messing up. And so they play all the way they do it. They set it up where you can watch it is they play all the videos at the beginning in the order that the people recorded them. And then in the middle, like, so that takes like 20 minutes or so. And then in the middle, they come in and they all come in and they haven't seen them yet when they're doing this. And then they watch, and then the people hadn't seen like the original story that were like last in line. They only saw what they got. And so they're just laughing at each other and mocking each other. And they go through all of them in order. And then they watch the original again at the end. And it's freaking hysterical. It makes me laugh so much because they butcher them. And of course, they try to make it hard on them. And one of them was like a rhyming poem. And another one did a whole bunch of like alliteration. And like they're trying to like kill the people behind them. They're trying to just like make it bad. And Ashley Johnson, who's on there, is really, really bad. She's really bad at it. But even some of the ones that are good, like vary. Like even the ones that are like, we'll do a good job one time, we'll do terrible. And it's like, and the first person that tries to repeat it usually does a pretty good job. And then the second person, it really starts to fall off. And then by the third person, it's barely recognizable. And then you get to the end, and there's like maybe 2 things that have made the whole way through. And it's funny what makes it and what doesn't. And it's good. It should be part of a job interview nowadays. Anyway, so I like went down that rabbit hole like a couple nights ago. And now I've watched like, I think they did round 1. They did 8 episodes. They're all a little about around an hour. And then I'm most of the way through their round 2. Although I couldn't find, they apparently deleted round 2, number 1 and round 2, episode 2. I can't find them on the internet. So I don't know if something happened with those, that they end up having to delete them. They did have some guests in season 2. And I'm wondering if something happened with the guests and they deleted them because of that. Because because what they've done in their season 2 of that was they did like a guest would come on and be in the middle, And then the next time the guest would get to tell the story. And I'm wondering if there was something going on with that guest, because both of those episodes are gone. And there's like a guest for 3 and 4, there's a guest for 5 and 6, there's a guest for 7 and 8. And then they did started a little bit of a season 3, and then it kind of ended, I think, after the pandemic and stuff. And then they just brought it back this week, which is how I found it. They did a new one, a brand new one this week. So anyway, so that's the rabbit hole I've been down. Not that you well, I mean, you're watching this. This is what I'm watching. It's huge random YouTube shit. So I know I go. Sometimes I feel like I go to these tangents. I'm like, why do they watch me? Why do they listen to me rant about this kind of stuff? But it's made me laugh pretty hard. All right, get that out of the way. Have I not frozen? Have I been good tonight? No internet issues. We're just doing the T-Mobile internet tonight. We have not switched over to the old cable internet. I would love to get rid of the cable internet, although the cable internet is super fast. Like I did a speed test on it today, and it was like almost 500 or 500 down and like 20 up. I mean, it was more than 20 up. I forget. But I did earlier today, I did the speed test on the T-Mobile, and it was like 200 and something down and like 12 up. But when I did it earlier, a while ago, of course, I was upstairs when I did that. And the thing is upstairs, and I don't have an antenna, like a connect spot down here. And it's saying I'm only running on my phone right now 40 down and 4 or 5 up. It looks like it's got 3 upper 3s up. But I'm also streaming to YouTube right now. So that could be, obviously that's sucking it up. So we'll see. It's for where I work, it's not rabbit holes, it's side channels. We go because I've talked about this. I work on rivers and streams and stuff. So it's side channels. When you get diverted, it's a side channel. Which means it comes back. Side channels always come back, but you just take the windy path sometimes. So instead of a rabbit hole, I go down side channels. Yeah. So with that, maybe when you're with other people, I definitely go down side channels then. Now other people seem to have caused it to bog down a little bit. So both when I was last Saturday, when I had people on, although when I had the most people on, I didn't have any problems. I feel like it's slower in the evenings. And I think that's because more people are tapping it, because it's technically running off the tower. So and they're supposed to have a limit on how many people are in an area can do it. But I do wonder if more people are using it in the evening, therefore it slows down, and whether or not I want to deal with that. We'll see. I'm going to try to give it, basically I decided I was going to do a month we're paying for both, and just see how this went before I canceled the cable. But we'll see. And maybe I can upgrade. It looked like today I was looking, and I need to find out how much it would be to upgrade to have like the T-Mobile mesh and actually get one of their things like down here. Since it didn't want to work with my Google Nest to kind of create a mesh in the house, if that would help me or not. So I may run by there tomorrow and talk to them and see what the deal is with that. So we'll see. As far as I know, we're good to go for D&D. And last week I did end up having to switch. I did, just because I didn't want to cause problems, because I did freeze once during D&D. Or I was pixelating, and they were worried about me freezing. So I did end up switching back to the cable last week on D&D. So that was not even on my channel, and I froze. But again, I think there's just some variation. But I did not freeze with Marcus on Monday for Cash or Trash when he was on my channel. I don't think. Did I freeze with Marcus? I don't think so. I think we were fine. I don't think I had any issues Monday. So we'll just have to see how it goes. We're playing with it right now, because I would like to save the money. I realize I'm spending more money this month, but yeah. I think Tickles might be dead. Unless somebody else has figured out something. I guess the only other thing I could do is call on my patron and see if But that's really, like I could like beseech my patron to see if I get a solution, but that's completely up to Alec, and I would probably have to sell it to him. I might do it just because I know people are like that think my character hates Tickles. That's not the case. Tickles annoys him, but he doesn't like. It would be a nice redemption for the two of them, for Gray to like risk something to save him. So I may do that before we leave, but we'll see. And I don't know that she can, like, because I don't really have access. It would be, because technically for my patron to do something, they would have to channel. They'd be channeling it through me, and I don't have any spells that can help him. So. Oh, he's talking about how you do mine. Well, you know. It is what it is. All right, so no, he weighs like a ton now because he's literally like a block of ice. He weighs like 3,000. Like your weight when you become the condition he's in, you weigh like 10 times more than you do in person. Like none of us are strong enough to like hold him. So we're off. What are we watching? Whatever you guys want to talk about at this point. So anything else going on? I'm hopeful that still like we don't lose our minds after Tuesday, please. I think we're going to, but I hope things don't get too bad. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. I'm in the final days of the 50. So that is something that's going to come up this month. I'd like to get one, maybe two more books, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. There is another copy of the my Star Spangled floating out there at the moment, but the price they went on it is just insane. It's like double what it should be going for. And I mean, two recent copies at higher grades went for less than this one. The guy's asking for this one. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off. I may make an offer. We'll see, to try to get him back to like a reasonable price. But nice. I will try to remember so I can be in the live chat, Lasso. But my memory is shit. So it may be I'll have to watch after the fact. But hopefully I'll try to remember to be there. Geiger, cash or trash, retro cash or trash first appearance. Not really necessarily on your video. I mean, Marcus loves him some Geiger universe stuff. He's a big fan of that stuff. I don't think they're trash, but I would be patient on a book like that. If you haven't already gotten it, I would be looking for opportunities to find deals. I think you can find deals. I don't think there's any reason to like think that book's going to explode for like huge value. That's just me. So, other than that, we are coming up on our hour mark. What else you guys got you want to talk about? Man, I am kind of, I think you said that earlier, Gordon. Like, I do feel like my throat is very dry. And me crunching ice on stream, that's high quality YouTube right there. I need to like adjust. I need to set like here. But I feel like I'm way off to the side. Like the camera looks like it's pointed. Like the center of the camera looks like it's over there. But you can actually see all the books when I move over here, that are behind me, as opposed to me blocking like the two Brave and the Bold books like I normally do. My fear is it's not gonna like things are just gonna be worse after Tuesday than not in terms of like stress level, because I think. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. because I think people are going to lose their minds, and I hope that's not the case. But I hope. But I don't really want to talk about that because stress. What else is going on? Let's see. Oh, another thing I watched this week that I want to talk about. I will say, if you're not a fan and you haven't watched it, Miss the Dog and Cat and Telephone Comics come out on Wednesday. We had an argument. It was brilliant wheels, yes. Well, DCs have been coming out kind of on, Wednesday's just comic book day. I miss the Dog and the Cat too. We'll say the neighborhood cat has sort of adopted me a little bit. Like, he's clearly, he doesn't have a collar, but he's clearly well taken care of and not like skinny and like not like a typical stray. Somebody is feeding that cat, and that cat is super clean. He's not like an outdoor all the time cat, but he's been coming to visit me every so often, like about once or twice a week. I've been seeing him. He comes up and he'll get right up. If I go outside on the deck and sit down, he'll come right up and get in my lap. So I've had a little bit of contact with the pet. It's been fun. It made me want a cat even more again. Still don't think I'm ready for a dog. Miss the big guy a lot, but we're not going to go down that because I don't want to get all emotional and be a wimpy person on stream. But at the moment, what was the other thing I was going to talk about? If you're a One Piece fan and you're even sort of caught up, they did a One Piece fan letter episode of the anime, and you only really have to be caught up to like the time skip, which is like not even halfway to where it's at now. And but it was amazing. It was freaking amazing. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. Like, it was so good for somebody who's a fan of that series. It was amazing. But yeah. It's been. He started showing up occasionally before I lost the dog, when I'd be sitting outside with the dog, and he would kind of come up, and it took a while, and then eventually he let me like pet him and stuff, and then kind of disappeared a little bit. And then I'd see him occasionally, and mostly I've seen him in the mornings after I get done with like my walk. But the other night he was on the deck in the evening, and so I went out and sat with him for like 30 minutes, and he jumped up in my lap, and yeah, so. JP as Whitney Houston. I get so much. Lasso. All right, gang. Well, we are at 58 minutes and 40 seconds. So you guys got a minute and 20 to get me to try to hook me into another conversation on something, or we're going to call it an evening. I do appreciate you hanging out with me. I know the comic book community awards. Is that right? CBCS, right? No, that's not right. CBCA, Comic Book Community Awards. CBCA, Comic Book Community Awards. Been going on tonight. I hope the right people won. I don't know. Hope my man John won. That would be cool. Even though he ditched me, even after he said he wasn't. I think I don't notice these things, John. You think I don't, but I do. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday evening. I don't know what you got going on. Maybe something fun. And I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And we will catch you next time. Later, everybody.